Dark Discoveries is a podcast that dives into the darker corners of history, mystery, and the downright bizarre. We discuss real events that may include graphic details, adult themes, and strong language. Not suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is strongly advised.
We're here to inform, entertain, and maybe make you laugh nervous in public, but never to glorify the criminals or make light of their victims. Our research is thorough, but hey, we're not perfect.
We don't claim to be historians, so if we get something slightly off, blame Jimbo. All opinions are our own, and sometimes even those are questionable.
Welcome back to Dark Discoveries. I am here with a very special guest, one Dustin Rimmel from Mysterious Circumstances. There's my first the night. Jimbo said I couldn't do it. So, Justin, go ahead and introduce yourself. Let the fans know who you are.
Well, my name's Justin. I host a wide array of podcasts. I haven't really done much the last couple years. There was, family medical stuff going on. And once I took a break for that, I kind of realized just how much time I'd been putting into this. And I don't know, I kind of enjoyed having my time back and picked up one of my older hobbies again and got back involved with that. And it's one of those things where you have to constantly be at it, constantly practice, constantly play and stuff like that. So it's just one of those things. But I do have so much content. It's unreal. And actually Blood and Dust getting ready to fire up again too.
Nice.
But yeah, I host Mysterious Circumstances, Blood and Dust, which is Wild West True Crime. Sweetie Anna Project, which was some unsolved murders from Louisiana for a while. And then later on, the second season was Oklahoma, Lawton, Oklahoma. And then I do a horror one called Rev 96. There's probably one in there that I'm missing. The unsolved murder of Judith Petty. It's called Safe Haven. I do that one. That was a huge passion project because of the group that I'm involved with, and I still actually am very active and do a lot of work for them now. So, but that's about it basically.
So I found this knucklehead looking for John Dillinger stuff. That's a common interest that we both have, and found him. I can't remember exactly when, but. Went back, listened to the backlog. He got me into Brohio.
18 or 19.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah.
He did some interviews with Brohio, Hillbilly Horror Story, so it kind of got me into that whole circle and got me all involved. So one of the questions Jimbo wanted to know was what got you started in the podcasting? I know the answer, but he's not quite sure.
I was sitting at work one day and I was listening to a podcast, and the podcast was about 45 minutes long or something. And it was it was like a weird unsolved murder. I can't even remember who it was exactly, but it was interesting enough. I wanted to look into it for myself. So I took the time, started Google searching, getting more information, and I realized that they had left a lot of information out. And to me, it was like it would have swayed my theory on what actually happened. So I was just kind of like, man, that kind of sucks, because I thought I had a pretty good theory until I read this information, yada, yada. And I went home later that night and Googled how to start a podcast. And I don't know, probably about 2 weeks later, I went and bought a $8 microphone, downloaded Podbean.
I wish that's all I spent.
And yeah, that was I rocked that $8 microphone until my very first donation from a guy named Paige out in Oregon. He's like, dude, your content is so good, but your microphone sucks so bad. So he sent me $25. So I upgraded to a $25 microphone, and I rocked with that for quite a while until I got the ATR. And I rocked the ATR right here for about 5 years or so till I got the Shure that's hanging up here that you can't see. But basically, I mean, within 2 weeks of hearing that episode, I put out my first episode. So
yeah, it happens pretty quick. We spend a lot of time getting ready because, like you said, we don't want to not do the case justice or the story justice because there's so much contradicting information out there that it's so easy to not give the information that you really want to have out there.
So, Justin, I have a question. My very first live event podcast I went to, it was you, it was Shane Waters, and it was Jerry and Tracy from Hillbilly Horror Stories up here in Indianapolis. No, it was up here in Indianapolis at like the burger joint or whatever. BJ's or something, I think.
That place was great, man.
Right. But I have a question. We lost Jerry last Thanksgiving, left a big hole in our hearts and in the podcast world. But I always wanted to know, how did you come across Jerry and Tracy from Hillbilly Horror Stories, and what do they mean to you?
Well, obviously they mean the world. Jerry was a good dude. He helped me out so many times. And, there were a couple situations where, podcast friends I thought I had, they didn't want nothing to do with me, but Jerry was like, "No, man," he goes, that's not how I am. Like, we're friends. I'm sticking with you through this. We're going to get through it, yada, yada. And then through that, through him, I met Tracy and joined their group and stuff. But I originally met them because I did an episode on the Rain Man, which was, what was his name? I believe it was out of Pennsylvania, the poltergeist case. Donnie Decker. Jerry had heard that and messaged me on social media, and he's like, "Hey, do you care, if we do like a little promo swap? I kind of want to have you on to talk about this Donnie Decker case." And he goes, "The other person I'm going to have on with you is a scientist." I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's cool, man, whatever." So that's pretty much how that worked out. I wasn't thrilled with the scientific explanation.
Are we ever?
That. Like, dude, that guy, he basically just laughed it off. He's like, "It's impossible." Ha 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 ha. And I'm like, "Yeah, but what about this? And what about this?" He's like, "It can't be. It's there's no way. It's impossible." And I'm like, "So what's the explanation though?" "Well, I don't know, but it's not that." I'm like, "Okay, dude, if you can't even, explain to me why it's not this or it's not that, then why should I take you seriously? You're not taking me seriously." It's like, you have X amount of witnesses, including an entire police station full of cops that saw all this. That also includes medical professionals. I mean, you had 2 sets of cops that saw that stuff, and then a whole restaurant full of people that saw that stuff. And he's like, "It's impossible. What did he say? 2 forms of matter can't occupy the same space," or something like that. I'm like, "Oh, okay. Like, can we elaborate on this?" He's like, "It's just impossible. Oh, it's ridiculous."
So now Justin Rimmel's our new resident expert.
Yeah. I mean, and don't get me wrong. Like, I'm a hardcore skeptic. Very hard. Like, my whole goal when I do paranormal episodes or poltergeist episodes is to literally debunk it. Like, that's my entire goal, man. But when you're supposedly a scientist and you can't explain to me why something does or doesn't happen, you got about as much credibility as me in the scientific.
Just because they have a piece of paper doesn't make them smarter than you in street smarts.
Yeah, I know tons of people, they got driver's licenses, can't drive for shit.
Exactly. So we kind of alluded. So what's the status of the podcast right now?
On a hiatus. I signed a new contract with a new network back in March, or it was early March, late February, I want to say. And there were a couple stipulations in there after the fact that I really didn't like, because they were wanting me to put out weekly episodes, at least 20 minutes long, fill them up with ads. And I'm like, that's not going to work for me, man. Like, I don't load up ads. Like, you listen to some podcasts, they'll put out 25-minute episode. They got ads every 5 minutes, man.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, don't get me wrong, I like making money too. And that's why I have a real job.
Exactly.
And I mean, of course, I've made money off of the podcast over the years and stuff like that, but at the same time, it's, so anyway, there were some stipulations in there and stuff. And Yeah, it's just been on a hiatus, man. I'm just waiting for I got a tournament I got to do here this weekend, and after that, I'll be free quite a bit more. So I'm looking, and I have all the that's I was telling you guys earlier. I have all the research done. It's just sitting down. I don't think people realize like how time consuming it is. Like you sit down and say you record for 3 hours, you go through and edit. Maybe you're going to get 2 hours of good, solid content out of that, 2.5 hours. Then you gotta, filter and clean the audio. Then you gotta add the production, the music, and the ad breaks, and yada yada yada. And it's like it's a lot. It's a lot of time. So
We don't
I
do
want
it.
to make sure that I have that time set aside before I start putting out episodes, because I don't want to put one out and then have to chill for like another month or two. So
Yeah, we don't do a ton of editing, but an hour episode, you're looking 8, 10, 12 hours of research and time getting ready to do
oh yeah,
a 1 hour show that you're doing for fun.
But something else is we have 3 people in our podcast. Justin is trying to do this solo.
Yeah.
And I can tell you from experience, it's a lot harder to do an episode solo than it is with 3 people.
Yeah, it is, man. I mean, the one good thing is usually when I'm listening, I know the markers of like when I screwed up bad enough, so I'll go through real quick and clip all those out, which is nice. But it's I mean, the research especially, dude. I mean, when I was doing, Doc Holliday or John Dillinger or any historical figure like that, I mean, it's months of research.
Oh, yeah.
It's ridiculous, man.
You set the bar so high on Dillinger, I can't ever cover it. I got to find a way to talk about different things that maybe aren't as common or certain situations, because nobody's going to hit Dillinger better than you did. And I kind of plugged you a little bit. I'm like, yeah, I got a guy that's done it better than anybody ever will. And
well, I appreciate that.
Well,
That was probably between that and maybe Billy the Kid. Those were the probably the 2 longest to research. Billy the Kid was hands down the hardest to research, man. Like trying to corroborate information. We don't even exactly know when and where he was born. I mean, most people agree he was born in New York back in I think it was 1857.
we're going to take the Anderson approach on that one since we're Hoosiers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right.
See? And we do know that he at least did live there for a little bit. So
Yeah, we're going to take claim.
That's kind of nice.
So speaking of John Dillinger, Justin, I don't know if you're allowed to talk to this, but I'm going to throw it out there. And if not, you can shut it down. But I remember you talking about some big named company that wanted you to be part of a documentary where they were going to exhume John Dillinger's body. Mm-hmm. And I remember that getting shut down for some reason or other, that the family didn't want to do it or whatever. So could you elaborate on that? If not, we can move on.
Yeah. So after I finished, I think it was with part 1 or part 2 of the first series of his life. I got a retired FBI agent emailed me, and he was with A&E and the History Channel, and they were looking to basically shoot a documentary because they were getting ready to exhume him to see if it was really him or not. And he basically was hitting me up about it. He's like, "How'd you get some of this information, man?" I'm like, "Well, I'm from Indiana, dude. Like, we have all the folklore." I said, "But even with the folklore, I try to corroborate the information and make sure it's accurate. And if it's not, if it's just a story, I'm going to say it's just a story." I said, "So I have the ability to go around and actually visit these places and see these things and talk to all these people." So after that, it was, what was it? It was like Kinetic Entertainment or Kinetic Production. Basically the producer of what was going to be the documentary, he got a hold of me after that, and we talked for a little while, and everything was good to go. We were going to exhume him. I believe it was going to be like August or September of that year. I want to say 2018. It was when I did put the episodes out. I think it was 2018, but we had a lot of good long conversations, and me and being the retired Fed, me and him had a lot of good talks, man, because he'd be, sitting on the other end and having a drink, and I'd be having a drink, and we just talk about theories and what we thought. But the thing with me is I wasn't 100% sure I said, I need to do a lot more research into his death because I've just been researching mostly his life right now. And I was like, I'm not going to sign up for something and say, I 100% agree with you guys that he faked his own death if I don't actually believe it. I don't care what channel it is, you know? So basically, when it came down, it was like 2 weeks before the exhumation was supposed to happen. So in order to exhume a body, you have to go through the state. It's usually to either move the body or to do DNA testing. Those are about the only two ways you can actually exhume a body. And that has to get approved through the county, state, health department, cemetery, everything in order for you to do this. Well, the family of Dillinger had presented what seemed like enough evidence to actually go through with the exhumation. So we were set to start in September, and I was going to go down there, and it was going to be, I don't know, probably 2-3 days of filming. And then they were going to, chop all that up. And then they were going to come back when we got, a DNA testing or results or found out more information and looked at the body or whatever. Well, I think it was about a week. It was like a week or two before the exhumation. The cemetery, which had previously approved the exhumation, they were the last people that had to say yes, and they had before. So they denied it. They said, no, actually, on second thought, we're not going to let you do this. And so I was obviously disappointed, but I was also curious. I'm like, why did they flip? Like, why'd they 180 on this? So what happens is the Paul dude from the production company, he got a hold of me and he's like, here's what happened. He said, a guy from the FBI walked into the cemetery, handed him a business card of a lawyer and said, I'm here to confiscate all documentation related to the burial of John Dillinger. Here's the business card of the lawyer if you want to fight it. And obviously the cemetery, according to this person, this is secondhand information. So according to him, the cemetery said, we're not going to fight that. We'll just 180. So they did not approve it. And then we went through all the correct channels again, and we were going to do it, I believe, in early January of that following year. And we had one final. It was basically the last time that we were allowed to file for the exhumation, and it got denied through, I want to say, the county. I want to say that, Marion County, I think, is the one that denied at that time.
Sounds about right.
And so it just never went through. So then fast forward a few years, and I hear about another documentary getting made, and was it Expedition Unknown, which I'm a fan of the show. I still have yet to watch that episode because it would just really piss me off if I did. So I just haven't ever watched it.
It's okay. You're not missing a whole lot. The map they find doesn't really give you any answers.
It doesn't give you anything. Everybody gets excited over nothing at the end, man. I got a hold of that Fed, and I'm like, hey, what's up? If you're doing interviews on other podcasts for documentaries, I want an interview too. And he goes, I'm sorry, man, I'm under an NDA, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, all right, bet, dude. I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do episodes now, and I'm going to research his death. And I said, I hope I agree with you, because if not, I might make you look bad.
Talking this weekend, I think the same Fed's under another NDA, so doing something else, probably not related. Is. But the report that particular guy has, do you agree with it?
I've never even read it, dude.
They've kind of went over it on the show they did.
After I did the research, I was like, I just don't, as much as I hate to say it, I don't think he faked his death. No. There is some weird stuff going on after the fact. I will 1000% agree with that. But the part that kills me is the evidence presented by that Fed and the family. It's not it's not that sufficient, man. Like everything, the big thing they always try to say is that the guy who died had a heart problem. He couldn't have been that athletic. He couldn't have done this. He couldn't have done that. So obviously, it's a different person. They state the eye color as evidence. They state the face looking bad as evidence. And as we know, that was one of the hottest weeks or 2 week spans in Chicago history during a hot heat wave.
And you woke a coroner up in the middle of the night to come do an autopsy that he probably didn't want to go do. You 100%. Lost the results, so it was so important. The coroner just ran through it to get done. That's my opinion.
The if you read the autopsy report and everything like that, like it's not horrible, but it's not too detailed. Yeah. But the things that they bring up as evidence that it's not him, I mean, you can totally, no. I literally interviewed a fucking doctor. I interviewed a cardiologist, man. And he's just like, I was so excited to look through this autopsy, man. He goes, I was pumped. And he goes, I'm reading through it. I'm like, this isn't really anything. This isn't evidence of anything. Like the guy, the heart condition that he had, John Dillinger, it's like, he goes, yeah, he could have been full 100, man, and not even known he had a problem. Yeah. Like, yeah, he could have played baseball. Yeah, he could have been a bank robber jumping over, gates and fences and everything like that. He's like, and then the eye color, they've actually done studies scientifically on eye color changing after death. I did state that in one of my episodes, the research and the results and everything like that. The fact the face doesn't look like John Dillinger, dude, it was 100 degrees. Yeah. And when the one coroner, they didn't want his body at the hospital. So when they hauled him from the ambulance, they dropped him on the front lawn of the damn hospital because they're like, we don't want him in here. Yeah. So this dude's bloated. He's out in the heat, decomposing, which humidity speeds up decomposition.
And for those that don't live in the Midwest, the Midwest gets humid.
It gets so humid.
People in the South think that it doesn't get humid here. I'm like, no, it's.
Oh, man.
Yeah, go outside for 10 minutes, you're going to lose 10 pounds.
Yep, 100%, man. It gets humid for sure.
So,
but yeah,
on the two theories that I have, did the FBI really think they got the wrong guy, or was it just if we messed up one more time?
That was
we can't afford this
argument that I imposed. Like Hoover was in such a bad position, and he was so embarrassed, and he was about ready to lose his job. And if you know anything about Hoover, he was an egomaniac. That dude he wanted to rule the whole country and the world if you'd let him. So he couldn't take a hit to the ego like that. I mean, even when they formed the Dillinger Squad got him in even more trouble because they killed, I think, 2 innocent people.
Yeah, a little bohemian.
They thought they were Dillinger. They were busting down doors, killed 2 guys that they thought were him. Yeah. That weren't him. But I don't think Hoover could have taken a thing like that. And like part of the argument for him faking his own death is that him and Hoover might have had some kind of connection, letter writing or phone calls that basically would state, hey, this is John Dillinger. I've got a great idea that's going to be real advantageous for both of us. He goes, you kill me, I fake my own death, I disappear. End of story. You get your stardom, your fame, I get my freedom. And supposedly that's what happened, but I've never found any evidence of any letters or any phone calls or anything. And I mean, yeah, it's a plausible theory, but there's a lot of plausible things out there that I still would like to have evidence for. Because the thing how's John Dillinger just going to disappear? Like whether he goes to Mexico or not, Mexico, yeah, he'll won't be extradited back then, but everybody's going to know who he is.
Exactly.
And he had already had a lot of stuff going on in Arizona. So I know damn well he wasn't going to try to go back through there. He was probably going to try to go through California. And to be honest with you, when he robbed the bank in, I believe it was Iowa, that was supposed to be his last robbery. They were supposed to have enough money to where he could have paid off all his debts from all the cops he was paying off. other people he was paying off to stay there, like safe houses. He was going to give a bunch of money to his family, and then he was just going to go to Mexico after that. But the amount that they stole wasn't enough. There wasn't as much in there as they said there was. So
they spent a lot of money paying people off. Like I said, there was no loss of loot anywhere.
Yeah, that's the whole thing with the loot and the treasure. Everybody thinks there's buried treasure around like Little Bohemia, and it's like, dude, the amount of money this dude paid off to cops for everything, and gave a lot of money to his family, all that shit. I don't think there's much left.
Yeah, and I know that his brother had a plane, so I know he worked for the state police as a mechanic. So how are you going to get money to buy an airplane on that budget in that time?
Hard to believe, yeah. Hard to believe, dude. Like, and I mean, if John gave him money, then that's fine, but he still ain't gonna afford a plane, dude.
No, that's a lot.
Because when you're a wanted man, it costs about 10 times more to be out and about and stay alive and free. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I know the rumor was he would lie low in Muncie and stay with possibly the Muncie police chief. I've heard that story, but when you're in Indiana, everybody has a Dillinger story.
Oh yeah, dude. There's stories from up here in Fort Wayne where there were bootleg tunnels and this, that, and the other, and I'm like, what does bootlegging have to do with John Dillinger?
Yep.
Like, it literally has nothing to do with Dillinger.
Trying to cash in on that name.
Not in that business. He was a bank robber.
Yeah.
So I'm going to switch.
He's really fucking good at it.
Yeah, I want to switch gears, and I want to talk to you about what you've been up to with the case breakers.
Yeah, sure.
Didn't know if you have any cases that you're working on, or if you've made progress on any cases to maybe getting a little bit more closure on something.
Yeah, the Linda Malcolm case out of Washington State, that we're getting some information on that. I really can't say too much, but it involves a person of interest, possibly a suspect, that committed a same type of crime in a different state. And like, we have the connection, and we've already talked to Honolulu PD about it, and they are like, they actually agree with us. So just trying to go through the right channels. You don't want to screw up something like that if you're going to go for it.
No, so sounds like something I need to dive into and research there, because it sounds pretty interesting.
I wish I could say more, but it's just
it's an active investigation, so you can't give out really any information.
And I've talked to the guy. Like, me and Jen, when we were in Florida down in Orlando for CrimeCon a couple of years ago, he lived, I think it was like an hour outside of Orlando, and we fucking drove to his apartment and knocked on the door, man. He let us in, sat there and interviewed him, and I don't know, body language wise, he had been in prison before and been in lots of trouble. So like, body language wise, he was stoned. He was like a rock, man. Didn't give off any red flags. But the thing is when people are nervous, it affects their vocal cords. And you could tell by the way he was talking. I was like, well, did you hear him? Like, I was like, that's from nerves, man. I said he was nervous as hell. And so we kind of went back, and Florida is not a two-party state like Indiana is. So what that means is we had our phones recording the conversation the entire time, and we didn't have to tell them. And we can use that.
See, I thought they had to know in Florida, so...
Yeah.
I was listening to another podcast where they were kind of in the same boat. So, but that's, like I said, it's awesome that you're getting to give back with your research ability and your knowledge on it. So
I've learned a lot doing that the last couple of years. So especially working with prosecutor's office on Judy's case out in Wood County, West Virginia.
Any leads in that are new on Judy Petty, or is that still kind of where it was?
Still kind of where it was, man. I mean, I'm pretty sure one of the former team members is still putting out episodes related to it, but there's no new information, man.
Because I know, like, another one, when you were talking about Sweetie Anna, you guys, I know you guys were close to who killed somebody or killed the people in that deal, because episodes are getting pulled. There was just a lot of things happening. Like, they are making somebody that either did it or was close to it nervous.
Yeah, the Jennings ones.
Yes.
Yeah, the Jeff Davis 8. Yeah, dude, that was pretty crazy. I'd never really experienced much like that before, but I guess it is what it is sometimes.
Like I said, it just sucks that you can't put the nail in the coffin on it.
Hey,
Yeah,
Justin.
it'd be nice. And I still have my contacts down there and everything. So, and I still get tips and information from it, but it's nothing like it's still having to track everything down.
Yeah.
It's nothing credible I can put on audio.
That sucks there.
So, Justin, who was the, I can't remember the case that you were working, but there was somebody that you guys had done the research and turned it into, like, I think it's the California police, and they were going to get back with you. Was it, I don't want to say Son of Sam.
Zodiac.
Zodiac, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Playing dumb on the Zodiac over here. Come on.
Sorry. I'm talking to Justin Rimmel here. It's a little nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
It's a hero of mine.
Yeah, so
He's never had a beer in the parking lot with you.
Never had a beer ever,
Yeah.
did you guys ever get any conclusion from that, or they just kind of like
No.
brush it under the
Riverside PD, all they have to do, like we literally did that was something with the case breakers, not the group I'm in now, Break the Case. So the Case Breakers is a nationwide group. There's about, I think, 45 of us, which I'm still involved. The reason we started our own little subgroup is because if I was like, man, if we used all these resources that we have, like we could have solved 10 small cold cases, man. Like, but we're going after DB Cooper, Zodiac, which I don't care about, and all these cases, Jimmy Hoffa, all this stuff. And I know I upset the guy who heads the Case Breakers, because me being so close to Detroit, he wanted me involved in the Jimmy Hoffa stuff. And I read through the information that was given, and I told him, I said, I said, I personally know a person who is an enforcer for the Detroit partnership. And I said, this is the reason Detroit has always been successful and super quiet, is because they're super quiet and they take care of their own business. They're not going to write clues down on playing cards or whatever else. Like, it's not going to happen. And they're not going to have somebody from outside like Chicago, because that was the theory, is that they pulled somebody from Chicago in to take care of the job. And that's not how the Detroit partnership works. The reason they've been so successful and had the least amount of arrests of any organized crime is because they take care of their own shit and they keep quiet, man. And so I kind of upset him. He's like, well, this is so-and-so. And I'm like, I'm sorry, dude, but that's, I got an inside guy. And I said, the facts speak for themselves. Like, look at their history. But the Zodiac thing, what it was is we paid for ballistics to be done on some rounds that were found that matched the person that we think was involved. And we don't even care if this dude is the Zodiac killer. That's what we keep telling everybody. We don't care if he's the Zodiac killer. We're just trying to solve Sherry Jo Bates's murder. And it just so happens that some people think that she was killed by the Zodiac. We do not give a shit about that. We just want to solve that murder. If this is the case and how it goes, then totally fine. That's great.
That's just a bonus if you solve that in the process.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, but Riverside PD won't even sit down and look at two pieces of paper to see if the DNA matches.
And it's funny because you guys have no ego in this thing at all, and they're total ego.
Yeah, they kill us, man. They shut us down every chance they get. I mean, we've talked to a couple higher up whistleblowers that have somewhat been involved with that case and that police department. And I mean, they told us, they're like, yeah, it's one of those situations where they screwed up.
And they don't want to admit it.
They screwed up. They could have solved this case a long time ago. So they're not going to do anything to admit that they were wrong. And I said, well, I don't care either way, man. Just, we're trying to help this woman, who died in the 60s. Her family's still wondering what's going on. That's all we cared about. And we got DNA, we got ballistics done, everything. And we're the ones who did that. They didn't, so it just sucks, man.
Right. So also, Justin, Jackie Johnson's part of this podcast. Unfortunately, she's at a theater rehearsal tonight. She would have loved to have been here. But I wanted to let you know that part of Dark Discoveries is going to be the Forget-Me-Nots, which was the missing child thing that we had you listen to. So we've narrowed it down. We took your advice. down to like 45-minute episodes or whatever and put out the information out there. With that said, being a missing child person, doing cases or cold cases like that, what are some tips that we can use to get a hold of law enforcement either in the local area or nationwide? Or do you just have to know somebody on the inside? Because when we reached out,
have to be adamant.
Because when we reached out for our first one, we emailed and you don't hear nothing back.
For an interview?
No, we were just trying to get like anything, like any information they had that they wanted to share with us, like the police report, whatever they wanted.
Freedom of Information Act, man.
Right. So is that like the only advice you can give, or is there anything else?
Whole case file. Yeah, you pull the whole case file, everything.
So do you just go down to your local law enforcement and ask them, or email them?
You can if you want, but you can just get online, do the file under the Freedom of Information Act, and they'll give you the information for the most part.
Okay.
I mean, if they're willing to talk about it, because here's the deal: I don't really do missing persons cases.
Right.
I just do unsolved homicides, cold cases, and stuff like that. We do have a person on our team with Break the Case that her main thing is missing persons cases. And me and Jen and George and Alan, we're all just like, that's out of my wheelhouse, man. It's because in all honesty, the thing is after a set amount of time,
right,
it's probably not going to end up good. You're not going to have no information. And our teammate, her thing was she's investigating her friend's disappearance from 10 years ago. I'm like, listen, it's he's either out there somewhere in that knee-high Oregon tree line out in the woods, or he's gone. Like, I don't think you're going to find him, unless somebody confesses.
Right.
And for somebody to confess, you legitimately have to have them deemed a suspect and brought in by police. Because usually if they're officially arrested as a suspect, because until then they're just a person of interest. But if there's enough evidence to say that they are, a suspect, then they'll get brought in formally.
Good to know. Maybe
we've had when we were working with prosecutor's office in Wood County, we'd have people that we wanted to interview and talk to and everything like that. And we set it up with the prosecutor's office to where when we would go there, they would systematically go bring them in. And I mean, they had to willingly come in. They could have said no, or they could have walked out at any time. But I don't think most of them knew that. They just figured if a cop was saying, "Hey, can you come in for some questions?" they're gonna adhere. They're gonna do that.
Right.
So, but yeah, until you have enough evidence to deem them a suspect, there's not much going on.
Too many people trying to confess to something that they didn't do, so they've got to put something in line to keep that from happening.
Absolutely. And that's why we keep some information secret, because we've had people do that with us. It's like, oh, it's this guy and here's why and da da da, and they would say something and we're like, that's not true.
Yeah, there's a reason the Delphi case
was
so quiet. They kept everything, even told court, where you had no clue really what happened. You can speculate, but I just know there's a lot of people that speculate. I don't remember the exact podcast, but they're like, oh, well, there were so many cops, somebody could have dropped a bullet. You have to rack a gun to lose a bullet. You're not going to have it just fall out. It's not a magic bullet.
It ain't going to just fall out, dude.
Justin, have you
don't
ever
have one up in your pocket like Barney?
Yeah, we're not Barney Fife. That's Mayberry.
Have you ever been a part of a group like that thought you had a suspect and then it turned out it wasn't? Like, you felt bad because you were blaming somebody, or did you already just do your research thoroughly enough that this is what you brought?
Judy's case. Judy's case, man. We had a person that we swore up and down. We're like, this guy had to be involved somehow. We got him into the police station, interrogated him for 2 hours. The thing with Jen, she's the one who started our whole group. She was a counterterrorism interrogator. She in the Army, dude. She served, and she's really good at interviewing or interrogating people. And after 2 hours, man, I mean, we walked away, and even the prosecutor's office always has like an investigator that's kind of an elected person. Yeah, even he was like, either this guy is the greatest, most genius sociopath we've ever seen, or he's telling the truth. So then we kind of had to shift gears and we never really get tunnel vision. We always keep all of our stuff open. So it wasn't like there was one person in the group who she 150% knew it was him. She couldn't just come to the conclusion, until she found somebody else. And then she thought it was him forever, and still thinks it's him actually. But we were just like, well, let's go over everything again and with a fine tooth comb and start from scratch, So yeah, it happens, man. It happens, but it's important not to get tunnel vision. That's a huge thing when you're looking at a case, for sure.
Mm-hmm. I think that happens a lot more than you think, that they get tunnel vision, they're stuck on it, and then the ego just doesn't allow them to move on. They're going to stick to, nope, it's this guy. We're not even going to look.
It's like the Delphi case. There's still people who think that the Keegan Kline and all of them were involved, or the Odinist and all that, you know what I mean? So, but once somebody has their mind made up that that's the person, then trying to disparage them or deter them to another suspect, even though the evidence leads them there, is sometimes harder than it appears to be.
Oh yeah. It's same way with big cases. I mean, every time I would post something about the Zodiac, all these fucking people would come out of the woodwork, dude. And it's like, that's not the guy, it's this guy, and here's why. And it's like, dude, did you even hear any of the information that was presented or read this book or anything? I don't have to. It's like, actually, you probably should, and like, that's the thing. None of us in the group give a shit who the Zodiac was. But it's like the fact that people are so dead set on who their person is, they will die on that hill, and you can present them on a silver platter, dude, with straight up evidence. And they'll be like, nope, it's not right. Nope, it's not the guy. It's my guy.
God forbid you ever go to trial and those guys are on your jury.
For real, dude. For real.
Did you ever have anybody that said, oh, it was my dad or it was my grandpa that was the murderer, and here's a note or something I can show you.
So talking about
we had a guy get a hold of us, man, and say that Zodiac was his dad.
So with that whole thing he just brought up, do you think the guy in North Carolina is related to D.B. Cooper?
Hell, I have no idea.
I've not looked into it. I know that was a big thing, and they said the parachutes matched and all this stuff, but
he's too busy shooting pool to look at all that information.
Yeah, it was.
You got real crime to figure out.
Kind of. Yeah. I mean, you know what? Like, D.B. Cooper got one over on the man. Good for him, dude.
Yeah.
If all of us could do the same thing, we would in a second. But
too many cameras nowadays.
I didn't look too much into it. I sent some of the articles to some of the other case breakers, some of the nationwide team, and they're just like, no. And then actually, my friend Darren, who does he does the DB Cooper Vortex.
Cooper Vortex.
Yeah, he's a dude. That guy is probably considered an expert at this point.
I need to go back and listen to some because it's just there's so much that it's hard to keep up on it.
It's called the Cooper Vortex, man. It's amazing plethora of information, and this dude has been studying nothing but DB Cooper for like 10 years plus, man. And I mean, he's not even an old guy. He's still young. He's young.
Yeah, he sounds young.
Yeah, he's young, man. He got into it one day and he's like, I'm going to figure this out. And I sent that to him and he just laughed. He's like, no.
It's plausible, but is it possible?
It is plausible, but yeah, I want to say I looked into it deep enough to give you an actual answer, but I didn't, man. It was at that point in time, I think we were getting started on one of our other cases, and usually that takes precedence over some of the headline cases.
Yeah. If you solve it, what good conspiracies do we have left? JFK, Jimmy Hoffa.
Yeah.
Which we all know Hoffa didn't make it out of Detroit. He met a what would the word be? He was cremated.
Well, yeah. There
Incinerated?
was a
Incinerated.
big crematorium, like I think it was a mile and a half away from
On the same road, wasn't it?
Yeah, literally on the same road.
Yeah. My
And,
brother,
like,
who's
my buddy straight up was like, he's like, bro, there's no body.
Yeah.
He's like, that dude is fucking dust in the wind, man.
yeah,
He goes there. Yeah.
my brother was a Teamster, and he's like, man, I got to go to Detroit. And he's like, I get up there and I get pulled over by a cop, and he's like, well, what are you doing here? He's like, well, I'm checking out. He's like, be gone by dark. You are not in a good area anymore. He's like, but up the road, there's a funeral home. He's like, it all fits. He's like, I thought I had it figured out. And he's like, I started digging into it. You can't identify ashes.
No, absolutely not. Nope. And I mean, usually if somebody's cremated, there's still some small bone fragments, but those are long gone.
You don't have to be Herb Ballmeister and put them in your backyard. You go drop them here, there, and everywhere, and you'll never find them.
Yeah.
So, Justin, out of all the cases that you have covered and all the episodes you have done across all the multiple different podcasts that you have done, which one did you find, I don't want to say the most enjoyable, but which one do you think that you excelled the best at?
Most satisfying?
Like, do you mean crime or historical figures?
Whatever,
or anything?
Anything. If there's more than one, that's fine too. So if you got like the top three or something,
Well,
I'm putting you on the spot. I didn't give you many opportunity to
I
think
can
about
name
these
most of
questions.
those.
I will say I still get hit up on Dillinger all the time, man.
It was
I
so
get
good.
It was good.
messages and emails still.
Babyface Nelson was really,
Babyface
really, really
Nelson.
good
That's one of my
too.
favorites too.
Yeah, that was a really good one. That was so low key. Like that research was a lot easier because I mean, there's no faking his death. Bro was shot down, you know, but just finding out who the person was.
Yeah.
But I would say probably one of the most enjoyable besides Dillinger was probably Billy the Kid. I thought just finding out who he was, and then same thing with Doc Holliday too, actually. Yeah, finding out that Tombstone is a fairly astonishingly accurate movie for Hollywood was absolutely, it blew my mind. And like most of all that stuff that happened that day, you know, aside from court records, I mean, there's witnesses all over, there's newspaper articles, and I mean that was pretty damn accurate, man. Even down to their personalities, it's insane. But yeah, Doc Holliday was super fun to research. Man.
Yeah, that was a good
dude
one.
Was just all over the place, man. He was, like I said, I always tell people, I'm like, that dude had he had a death sentence at 22, man, or 21, and
yeah, it's amazing how young he was.
13, 14 years, yeah.
Yeah.
I really like when Justin reads his bad reviews on his episodes too, with the one stars.
We're gonna have plenty, so I'm gonna steal that from you, just so you know.
No, that's
He
fine,
cracks me up, dude.
I still
Especially
get
the ones that
messages
says
that.
about his language. And he's like, moron, did you not listen to the intro? There's like a 3-minute segment of people saying, don't listen, there is language.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I actually just got another review probably about a month ago about it. I'm just like, for fuck's sake. Obviously people can't.
Did it come from Indiana?
Fine.
My brother said he's gonna leave you a 1-star just to have you rip him, and then he'll change it.
And then change it.
He's a big fan of the older stuff.
I've had a few people do that.
Yeah.
They emailed me ahead of time and they're like, hey, here's my username. I'm going to leave you 1 star. He's like, just roast me. And then I'll change it to 5 stars. Yeah. I'm like, all right, whatever, man. Sounds good to me, dude.
Yeah, he's a big fan of the old
fun.
The old stuff that you did.
People are dumb though, man. Cause it's like literally, dude, like even if you look at the damn, not even the episode descriptions, the damn podcast description,
right?
In all capital letters surrounded by asterisks, it says explicit language, you know? And then I figured out that a lot of people can't read, apparently. So then I had to put in the audio at the beginning of every episode. And then apparently they don't believe me or something.
Well, you might have to put it in Braille because.
Oh, shit, right? That's what I'm thinking, man.
So, Justin, something that Dustin and I started, it was the first episodes that we come up with when we come up with Dark Discoveries, was if H.H. Holmes could have been Jack the Ripper. No. So. Right. So my question is to you is, I know you've looked at Jack the Ripper, and I think I remember you saying that you wouldn't cover it because it's been done so many times.
Oh yeah.
But who do you think that the Ripper was, or do you think we'll ever know?
I have no idea, but if you guys want to interview my buddy Mick, He actually spent 2 years in the basement of Scotland Yard researching it, man. Then he wrote a book about it. And for somebody as young as he is to get, and he legitimately got credited with probably having the right suspect.
We will have to talk to him because we should have did that before, but I'll take any of the leads we can.
Yeah, right. I interviewed him on my podcast. It's anybody wants to. His name's MP Priestley. His name's Mick. He's a cool dude. Super young. He lives in the East End of London, and he actually guides the Jack the Ripper tours there. So, yeah, and you want to hear a funny story about that? Is after I had Mick on the podcast, it was probably a couple months down the road. One of my friends from Ireland went to London on vacation, and she took the Jack the Ripper tour. And she had said something about my podcast and me. And Mick is like, "You talking about Justin?" And
That's
she's
awesome.
like, "Yeah." And he's just like, "Dude, I love Justin." He's like, because I still talk to Mick all the time, man. We text all the time and shit. He actually just released a new book.
Okay.
It's not related to Jack the Ripper. It's another crime case, but yeah, he's a phenomenal author. And actually in London, dude, he's considered the expert. Like when somebody brings up a new suspect on TikTok or some bullshit, literally the news has him go on.
Shoots him down.
yeah, 100%. Dude, I'll send you a video clip of it. It's great because, he did like a whole 5-10 minute segment on the news and he's just like, no. And
yeah. We'll have to get a hold of him.
I hope he's got his book on Audible because I can't sit and read it because I got ADD, but I will
doesn't have
listen
pictures.
to it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it should be. It should be on Audible, actually.
I'll have to check it out.
Hopefully he's narrating it because the dude's voice is amazing. I was like, dude, if you do an audiobook, do your own book.
Oh, yeah.
Because his voice is very, very good. But
yeah,
that's part of the reason he does the tours too. But yeah, that's literally his whole career and what he does.
Yeah, the whole thing with that case is supposedly the great grandson has these diaries that he won't release. It's just it's somebody just wanting to hop on that train to get recognition for doing nothing.
Well, if you
that's my opinion.
My thing is, if you had that and you mass produced that, how many copies would you sell? You would sell a ton of them as long as it wasn't fabricated.
Oh yeah.
We had the guy that copied Hitler's journals and made them up and sold them for hundreds of thousands.
Yeah, absolutely. And if that was the case with Jack the Ripper, just release them, take the paycheck, man.
Right.
Because unless you're trying to sell them to the highest bidder or just go for clout or fame or whatever, like if you have that information, just fucking get it out there, man.
Yeah, exactly. Get the info out there, solve it. But H.H. Holmes was a con man. He wasn't a kid. He was a killer, but he was more of a con man.
Yeah, he was. To be honest, if his cons would have gone 100% smoothly,
he wouldn't have killed nobody.
I don't think he would have killed.
If there wasn't a cadaver shortage, it'd be a different story.
100%.
Then they started figuring him out. He's it's.
Oh yeah.
This one's only 4 foot tall, and it says he's 6 foot.
Right. Yeah, when he killed his one insurance fraud partner, that's because his family started asking questions, and that's how they got H.H. Holmes was the insurance fraud.
Right.
So that's how they all that came about.
And it was fun to research and a good topic because I had Holmes, and it was fascinating.
Yeah.
But there's so much misinformation.
Guy. Oh, there's a lot of misinformation out there.
Which book did you read?
Holmes, man.
I read The Devil in the White City by Eric Larson.
There's other one. I can't think of the guy's name, but it's a better version. I think he's done more research on it, and it was a little bit more accurate versus taking stuff that was probably sensationalized by the newspaper. Same thing with Dillinger. He got sensationalized to sell newspapers.
A lot.
Who's going to benefit from H.H. Holmes being this mass murderer that killed hundreds of people? The newspapers. He probably only killed 10.
They're going to keep.
Yeah.
They're going to keep buying, man, to see what's going on.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's all it is.
At a certain point, dude, what was it? I think it was in New York, like the two major newspapers, there were some unsolved murders going on, and each president or owner of each newspaper literally hired investigators and told their reporters, find out who did it.
Yeah.
And it was literally a race to sell newspapers. It wasn't,
Justin, do you think that the actual Jack the Ripper actually wrote any of those letters that are famous, like the Saucy Jackie postcard or the Dear Boss letter, any of those? Or do you think it was or do you just think it was people trying to capitalize and put fear into the public to sell more newspapers?
Jack the Ripper wise, I would say, I mean, at least one I think was credible, but others, it's hard telling.
Everybody wanting that
I would
club.
honestly, you guys got to have Mick on the show, dude.
We'll have to try to work something out because we've dropped the first 2 episodes. We kind of have our conclusion coming out next week. Mm-hmm. So we'll have to get the next few weeks, see if we can't make contact and drop your name. See if we can't get what I've been calling the Rimmel rub all week. See if we can get the Rimmel rub.
I said I ain't rubbing nothing on Rimmel. That's what you will.
So next time you get this girl over, girlfriend or not, just be like, hey, I'm going to give you the Rimmel rub.
So Dustin put out on your social media, Mysterious Circumstances on Facebook, since we know you're not on there a lot anymore, even though you dropped in for a few minutes the other day before you got kicked off again.
The other night.
Yeah, I was like, is it going to last that long before he gets banned again?
Yeah,
I woke up and he was gone.
Yeah. But we put out.
Yeah, it was quick.
We put out if there was any questions that anybody wanted to ask you. So we're gonna put them out there. So Dustin, I think, has the first one.
Yeah, we don't want to take too much more of your time. So the first question we had is from Tanya Bruce. She wants to know boxers or briefs.
Actually, boxer briefs.
Well, best of both worlds.
That's a man that knows
pretty much. I like
knows luxury.
Listen, I'm 44 years old, bro. I need security, man.
Indiana gets hot, so make them long leg boxer briefs.
You know, you should have just said nothing and just watch the girls melt.
They were hoping commando.
Now at this age, man, gravity plays a factor.
Yeah, it sure does, brother.
You got to be secure.
I need to get some liposuction down there.
Hell yeah.
So Jimbo and Kyle want to know what's your favorite movie is.
Oh shit.
Or top 3.
Top 3 is way easier. I would definitely have to say Rebel Without a Cause.
Great movie.
Man. James Dean. That's such an amazing film, and the story line behind it and the plot, the message is just amazing.
And the fact that we covered on Cursed Objects an upcoming episode. I did mine on The Little Bastard. I listened to your episode. I'm like, man, there's too much information that's all the same. I see why you don't listen to podcasts because you feel like you're copying somebody. But
that's why I don't.
We came to the same conclusion, but the amount of time that James Dean was out there, what, 4 years?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not much.
What he did is still impacting generations today. 3 movies.
And he's 3 movies, dude. And they are probably some of the best movies. And
Giant's an excellent movie. And he was only like a semi-cast. He was off to the side in that movie.
Yeah. I think East of Eden, they said
that's
was
a great movie.
One of the top 400 movies ever made.
Yeah.
And that's like the top 0.5%.
Yeah, he was gone by the time Rebel came out.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like the impact that he had. Now, I don't know if him dying made that bigger, but he was already on that trajectory.
He was already on the trajectory, man. The
Elvis Presley wanted to be like James Dean, if that tells you anything.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. Who didn't, man? Indiana boy too, by the way.
Yeah.
You know.
Shout out Fairmount.
I think Rebel Without a Cause for sure. I'm a really, really huge fan of Boondock Saints.
Oh, fantastic movie. I took it, my high school gym teacher, never seen that movie. I brought him the DVD and was like, watch this tonight. And he came back. He's like, that was the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. I'm like, hell yeah.
That's such a good movie, man. Third one, I would have to say, and probably not many people have heard of it. It's a movie with Sean Penn and Susan Sarandon called Dead Man Walking.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about that. That's my brother's favorite movie ever.
Dude, if there's a movie, I tell you what, man, that movie will tear you up, man.
We'll pick one and go on his podcast because I'm the top 2 highest downloaded episodes on his other podcast.
You know why?
This year.
Because Justin Rimmel hasn't been on it yet. All right. So Tim Mullins, he was looking for a little HHH plug. He wants to know if you miss your role as the shadow guy in the Hillbilly Horror House audio drama that I was part of and you were part of.
Yeah, it was definitely fun. I don't like the voice acting it's weird because you have to do it certain ways and it just feels weird.
It does.
It was fun, but it's just awkward sometimes, man.
If you listen to one of our intros, I was trying to harness my inner Justin Rimmel and I just couldn't do it.
It doesn't work.
The wife was like, I was like, will you listen to our podcast? I'm like, you don't listen to me anyways. So would you listen to it? She's like, if you sounded like Justin Rimmel, I may listen to it.
Shut your mouth. Yeah, she did not.
You're you're the one podcast I can listen to, like to fall asleep to, because I like noise she doesn't, but you're like the one exception. I don't know what she does when I fall asleep, but I can play you when I go to bed.
I like noise too. I usually play old episodes of Coast to Coast AM.
They have
a bunch of old episodes on Spotify, and then they just started uploading them to YouTube in like 10-hour marathons.
Nice.
With no ads. So
do you listen to George Norrie still? I mean, you can't top Art Bell. Art Bell was the best. George Norrie, for me, it's not the
George's
same
voice,
right?
A lot, but no, I'm going back to the old school with
Art Bell,
just because like he was the first person to have a lot of people on that are way more well known now,
right?
But when you rewind it, it's like, shit, man, he was on Art Bell 20 years ago, dude.
Yep.
I already, I've heard this.
So is that the audio dramas
awesome.
You were talking about that you listen to now?
No.
Audio dramas are like basically TV or movie for your ears.
Is there one that you like particularly more than the others, or?
Oh man, I mean, there's tons, dude. Black Tapes is phenomenal.
Have you listened to We're Alive, the zombie one?
I haven't listened into that. I'm listening right now to one called Sherlock and Company, and it's funny. It's honestly pretty damn funny, but each like case is probably anywhere from 2 to 4 episodes long, about 45 minutes a piece. So it's kind of nice time frame, but the voice acting is phenomenal. The storylines are great. Everything, sound effects are perfect.
I like the old.
Man, there's just so many.
I listen to some of the old Dragnet radio shows, and it's just to listen to the old sound effects they did was awesome.
Oh yeah, Fibber McGee and Molly.
A lot on there on Spotify.
I gotta find something.
What happened was, I think it was like 7 or 8 years ago. This dude bought all the rights to the transcripts. He didn't buy the rights to the show, just the transcripts. So what he did was he bought rights to make new episodes if he wanted to, but he took all the old episodes, got all the transcripts, hired a bunch of voice actors of famous people like, Henry Rollins is in one of them. He plays a used car salesman. But they stick with the original story. They just have new voice actors, and they updated like some of the dialogue, like phones and stuff like that. But it's still literally all the old episodes. So if I hear one that I hadn't seen in a long time, it's like, oh man, that's a great episode. I'm gonna go watch that when I get home.
Justin, what's your top 3 favorite Twilight Zone episodes of all time?
Oh man, I would probably have to say, I don't know the actual name of the episodes, but there is one where this guy is in prison on an asteroid, and they come to drop off supplies like once every month or 3 months or whatever. And they drop off that robot for him. And then when it's time for him, he actually gets pardoned. And when they go to leave, he wants to bring her with him, and they won't let him. And he's just like so attached to her because it's the only person he's had forever.
Yep.
That episode's a pretty good one. I like the one where the chick Nancy, she's driving her car and she keeps singing the same hitchhiker.
The hitchhiker, yep.
Over and over. And she eventually finds out that she had died in a crash like previously, and that hitchhiker was supposed to be taking her to the next step. That was a really good episode, because people don't realize, like, M. Night Shyamalan, with all those twists at the end of episodes, dude, he got that shit from the Twilight Zone, man.
Absolutely.
But my hands down favorite episode is probably the one, I think it's called the Odyssey of Flight something.
Is that the one with the dinosaur?
Yep, 100%. Like, it's, if you watch the episode, it's funny because you see that animatronic dinosaur just like chomping on a tree.
I think it's claymation, dude. I don't even think it's animatronic. It's so terrible.
Horrible.
It's good.
It was
and
the
it was
50s.
made in like 59 or 61 or some shit. But yeah, that one, I like that one just because you get to hear, just I don't know, the storyline of it. It's like we have enough fuel to do this one more time.
Yep.
Hopefully, because they kept getting closer. They got to, I think, the 1930s, and then they had enough fuel. They were like, we can either land here 30 years in the past, or we can try to hit this vortex again, and we only have enough fuel to do it one more time.
Yep.
And then you find out, like, the plane, nobody knows what happened to it, so nobody knows where it ended up.
Right.
That's
All
a
right.
good episode.
All right, Justin. Mermaids. Do you believe that there could be a half human, half fish? I say half human, but I'm humanoid, let's say, in the deepest, dark depths of the ocean that we just haven't discovered yet? Or do you just think there's no possibility at all?
Let me answer this for you. It's a no. Come on, Jimbo. We've talked about this time and time again.
Hey, if I wanted your opinion, I'd go back and listen
Pirates
to the
were
episode.
drunk and they were wanting to do the deed, and it was the closest thing to a human they could find, so they tried to justify it.
Probably,
See,
yeah.
he said probably.
I honestly, I would believe that there are sirens before mermaids.
Right. Okay.
I will say that.
So Jackie Johnson wants to know, what's your thoughts on Bigfoot?
Honestly, Bigfoot is legit. Like, one thing I've never really gotten into, man. It's
People in suits.
actually, I had somebody the other day message me on Instagram asking me about, have you listened to Sasquatch Chronicles? I'm like, listen, man, I respect everybody's into different shit. I can sit here and hate on you, but it's just not my thing, man. Because it's like, dude, how is there no babies been found, no skeletal remains?
Nobody's shot and killed one in the wild, because if you do, you're going to prison for murder.
Yeah.
Can't get a clear picture.
I mean, with as many sightings around the country as there has been, you can't honestly tell me that some drunk redneck ain't been out there, with some heavy firepower.
Oh yeah,
And I can say redneck because I am one.
I are one, so we're okay.
Yeah. So you can't tell me, man, that if somebody saw that and they're out there, doing some hunting or whatever, man, they're going to take some shots at that thing, dude.
If I see a young bear on its back feet running towards me, I'm not hanging around to see if it's a Bigfoot, because it's a bear.
Yeah, 100%, man. Yeah. Yeah.
And then I have
anything big and hairy. But if I had a gun,
that's why I sleep naked.
Like,
you break into my house and this big fat guy comes running at you naked, you're gonna turn around and leave. You ain't gonna stay around and try to rob me.
Yeah. How well do you think you're gonna fucking outrun a brown bear or grizzly bear?
Yeah, you're not.
What about UFOs and aliens there, Justin?
Oh hell yeah, I believe in all that.
But you don't believe in a mermaid in the bottom of the ocean?
No.
What about an alien in the flying saucer in the bottom of the ocean?
Oh, for sure, man. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah. Yeah. It's when it comes to aliens, my response is always usually about the same. It's like, if you think like we are the end all be all most intelligent species in the fucking universe,
because we're dumber than shit.
That is super sad, dude, because we are dumb. But I mean, just look at how many solar systems there are alone. Like, how many galaxies there are, dude. You can't tell me that we're the only form of intelligent life that's around, man. I just can't see that as a possibility.
I agree with you on that.
Of space,
See, I agree on that theory. There are things I agree to, but mermaids and Bigfoot and jackalope, snipes.
We didn't. What about the Loch Ness monster?
The Loch Ness monster, I'll get into that. That was just a giraffe that escaped the zoo and got stuck in the water. Your Wampus cat, all that's just shit people made up.
All right, now I'm going to ask the hard-hitting question to Justin. Justin, when you were at the Sally house and they had that audio, and then you went somewhere else and you were doing a ghost hunt, and the spirit box or whatever said, "Oh, that's Justin from the Sally house," or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Can you elaborate on that a little bit for those that may have not listened to those episodes of yours?
Oh man, I tell you what, that like I it didn't necessarily scare me, but it definitely sent chills down my spine, man. And my friend Cammie, she was there, and she was with me at the Sally house. She went to Sally house too, man. And when she heard that, she was like, "Oh fuck," And I said the same thing. But so essentially, in August of 2019, we did our live show in Atchison, Kansas. And it was, excuse me, it was like a 2-day event. We did a bunch of tours at the Sally house. There was a couple other paranormal things going on there. I think one was a cemetery. I can't remember what the other one was. And then we did our live show. And then we actually ran a contest when we were selling tickets to have a couple people stay the night in the Sally house with us. So the one girl who won the contest, she couldn't make it. So me and Jerry, Cammy lives in Washington State. She lives in Idaho now, or like right on the line. But she has spent, I don't know how much money flying across the country to come to our live shows. And so me and Jerry were like, you know what? Like, let's just give it to Cammy. Like, let's just see if she wants it. Cause like she always literally hops a flight, takes like 5 days off of work, and she'll go to live shows. So we gave the thing to Cammy. And so when we were in there, I mean, there was a lot of activity going on. Cammy, on my Patreon, I interviewed Jerry and Cammy about what happened that night. It's fucking crazy. I still can't even believe that all that happened. And I don't want to, I mean, with Jerry gone and, you know, this being years ago, I don't want to bring up that old information if Cammy wouldn't be comfortable with it again. I mean, she was the first time, but that was fresh after it happened. So I don't know. But anyway, some creepy paranormal shit happened, and Cammy was absolutely freaked out. Like she was, I've never seen her like that. She's just shaking, smoking a cigarette, you know, just freaking out. So fast forward to 2022, I want to say.
Yeah, it was in the new house, so it was after 21.
Yeah, it was 22 then. It was in June of 22. Yeah. So I go to stay at the Indiana State Sanatorium, and Cammy flew across country to stay the night there with all of us. There was a small group. I mean, we went with when Ghost Hunts USA was in operation, but the property is so vast and there's so many buildings. It really wasn't like a huge problem that there were like, you know, 60 or 70 people. So as the night progressed, like fewer and fewer people were around. So we were in one of the buildings doing some spirit box sessions, and it kept telling me to like walk down the hallway, and you know, I'd go down the hallway a couple times or whatever, and the thing was responding like crazy. And so I came back, and I was sitting there doing spirit box session, and it's to the point where like you can hear what's being said, you know, it's coming through pretty clear. And anybody who wants to hear it, go on MC Mysterious Circumstances, just look up Indiana State Sanatorium. All the audio is on there. It's honestly one of the more incredible things that I mean, editing sucked because
I bet
there was a lot of dead air. I mean, I had probably 8 hours worth of audio that I whittled down to like an hour and a half, you know, and it was the shit that you could hear a lot better than the other stuff. But anyway, we're sitting there doing this thing, and I asked, you know, it sounded like they were talking amongst each other. That's what Cammy said. She goes, it sounds like they're talking to each other, because you can hear one just kind of whispering, saying stuff, and then you hear the other one kind of whispering, saying stuff. And then I heard my name, and I was like, do you know who I am? And then the one voice like, it's Justin. And then the other voice goes, from Sally's house. And like, that's when Cammy freaked out. And I'm like, did that just say that's Justin from Sally's house? And she goes, yeah. And she goes, I'm going to walk away for a little while. And I'm like, all right. And then at one point I asked, I was like, well, what do you want from me? Like, what is it about me that makes you want to talk to me more and keeps telling? Because dude, they were just concentrating on me the whole time. Like just telling me different shit and like all kinds of stuff. And like at one point, probably the creepiest, deepest voice I've ever heard in my life, dude. I was like, why do you guys like me so much? And this dark, creepy voice just comes through and says, his soul. because his soul. And I was just like, fuck, man. I was like,
Crazy stuff always finds you, I swear.
That was wild, man. I wish it would have found me more at the jail, man. Boone County Jail Distillery.
Yeah, we got
kinda,
a little bit upstairs where the owner's apartment area is now, but it didn't do a whole lot. But I think it was too many people. It got better as it quieted down. When we were in Crown Point, I'm kind of on the fence on that one. Probably too many people once again. They wanted to keep probably 4 groups of 8 or 9 people in this one area, and they were just overloading. Every cell had a spirit box or something, and you just I think they were really trying to push it, in my opinion. But when you have that much negative stuff happen in one place, if you believe in heaven and you believe in hell, how hard is it to believe that somebody can get stuck in the middle? So when you have that much trauma, something's going to stay.
So I work with a preacher. I've worked with this dude for damn near 20 years, man. And he's him, I'm me, but we're both adults, and we actually have really good conversations about this kind of stuff because he does believe in the paranormal.
Yeah.
But he doesn't believe in purgatory. But he also thinks that all ghosts are demons, like of some way, shape, or form. If it's a ghost, it has to be something demonic because, if since there's no purgatory, if you're in the kingdom of heaven, why would you want to leave? Like, like all this stuff. But yeah, it's I don't know. It's me. Obviously, I'm a pretty spiritual person. I'm not really a Christian or anything, but I entertain all ideas and thoughts and belief systems, and I'm not saying all of them have the same basic fundamentals for the most part.
It's just been adapted by different name. Yeah. Adapted to fit somebody else. So
absolutely.
Like I said, you can be spiritual.
And there's going to be radical, radical little sections in each one. That's inevitable, because people are just going to take shit too far no matter what you're doing. But yeah, I don't know. That's one of those things. I'm more of a spiritual person, and I don't go to church, but I believe in ghosts. Obviously, I go ghost hunting all the time.
Yeah, hopefully you get something, another birthday bash it up somewhere to where we can hopefully get together and do something fun like that again.
So, Justin, what is one thing that scares you? Is there something that you are scared of?
Snakes.
Yeah, burn the house down for a snake. I don't mess with snakes.
Spiders.
I thought he was going to be something intellectual like failure or something, but no, he comes out with snakes.
In all honesty,
2 lines on a pregnancy test. That's pretty scary.
No, I'm usually all right, man. It's as long as the family's good, we're all scared of failure. We're all scared of certain things, scared, but a lot of people are scared to die alone, and scared to be alone. Just the most random shit that people are scared of. But I don't know, man. It's snakes freak me out, man. I can't really say like to what extent you mean. Like, do you mean like, metaphysically or
whatever,
physically or spiritually, or
just throwing the question out there? However you wanted to answer it was fine with me.
Yeah. I'll stick with snakes, man.
I'm going to put stingrays in there too, because they killed the crocodile hunter and I ain't messing with them.
That was a good guy, man.
Real dude. Yeah.
Snakes, spiders, and stingrays. They can all go to hell.
I hate spiders, man.
So Justin,
I wasn't even scared of spiders till I saw that movie Arachnophobia.
Speaking of your
fucked me up.
Speaking of your family, is MC Junior going to be making another podcast episode anytime soon?
Oh yeah, he's actually recorded probably about 15 or 20 more episodes. And I'm actually getting ready to get him his own setup so he can learn, so I can teach him how to edit his own shit.
Oh, nice.
Do it for him. Yeah.
If the editing sucks, blame this guy.
Yeah, he's a smart enough kid. He'll figure it out, man. But
he'll be like, I'm not editing.
I'm the star. I'm the talent. I'm not doing the intern work.
The hard work.
Editing that damn kid is it's rough, man.
It's probably better than doing yourself because you don't have to hear yourself talk. That's where I struggle.
That's very true. But he's also of that generation that says like every other word.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Dustin's
I think he said he took like 2 hours out of an episode. So,
well, in all honesty, when I'm recording, if you're recording by yourself, the easiest way to get rid of that and to do it is to have your paragraph that you're reading, or even if you're going by bullet point notes, get your point across, stop, because you can always edit to where it sounds like a smooth transition.
I'm trying to get Jimbo.
So
The Roadcaster has a pause button, but he wants to go through the whole way.
The problem is,
but I mess up so much I have to start over. So I have to start all the way over.
The problem is you say in the middle of a paragraph, you can't even get through the bullet point. So it's part of your sentence. So it's fine.
I had a math teacher. We watched how much spit build up in the side of his mouth, and we counted how many times he said and in a class, and I had him 3 times a day. So that's what we did. So it's just,
I will say this too, or tell you this too. If you're slow and steady of a speaker, kind of like I am when I do my episodes, I'm slow, steady, I'm casual. You can look at the wavelengths. Like, just look at the wavelengths. You'll see all the ums. Like, you don't even have to hear them, dude. So what I'll do is I'll go through the audio. I'll zoom in a few times so that and I can go through and I know what looks like on the wavelengths. So I'll just go through, clip them all out real quick, and then I'll go through and listen. And if there's one in the middle of a sentence or something like that,
you're just going to leave it,
work around that. Yeah. But
so
that's actually a time saver, dude. If you can just look at the wavelengths and see what the word looks like, you can go through and you can clip them. So like you can go through, highlight it, and basically say, hey, if there's a wavelength that looks like this, take it out.
Yeah.
And then
I'll just have to see if you pay for the extra Google storage for you and just send you over my recordings, and we'll give you a credit.
I'm good at editing, dude. I had to teach myself that shit, man, because back when I started podcasting, it was 2016.
It was the Wild West. I mean, it was early.
All these huge networks, pumping shit out. There wasn't all this shit, man. It was like there weren't very many of us, and there was no community. There was no TikTok videos. There was nothing on Reddit. It was just you had to basically learn how to do it yourself, and that's how I got so quick and efficient at it. And even as efficient as I am, it still takes a little bit of time, And
you want to drop every week. It's a daunting schedule. But like you said, the community, man, you guys have a great community within your group, within Hillbilly Horror Stories, all these subgroups, man. There's so many good people that want to see you succeed, because like you alluded to earlier, some of your closest friends that you think have your back and they're going to help you with this are the ones that are going to stab you in the back first. They're laughing behind you. They're talking shit. It's hard to find good people.
A little bit of a controversy back in, I think it was 2006, late 2016, 17, something like that. And I mean, it was literally like bad enough. Like my network was like, dude, you gotta make a statement. You gotta make an apology. And I'm like, all right. And then, like my fucking mom and my sisters had to come out, say something. It's like, listen, he has a fucking horrible sense of humor. This is not who he is. He was talking in confidence to a friend, and then it got blasted all over the internet and shit. And it wasn't even anything like sexual or anything like that. It was just, we were having a conversation, and somebody who hated me, absolutely hated me, clipped one comment from the entire conversation, posted it online everywhere, started dogging me. And I mean, it was bad, dude. It was real bad. I thought about quitting, man.
That's why I don't have friends. I keep my friends really low, so I don't have to worry about it. The people I don't I don't talk to.
Like, she told me she was going to do it too. This chick who did it, man, she messaged me one day and she goes, here's the deal. If you don't apologize to this podcast for saying this, and if you don't do this, this, and this, I'm going to post this shit all over the internet.
I know your response.
He said, go ahead.
Your absolute life. And I fucking told her, I said, fucking send it. I don't give a shit. Fuck you and fuck them. She did. You know what I mean? And that's how that happened. But it sucked because, like, I had already recorded some voice tracks for a friend of mine's podcast. And he pulled them. He goes, I can't be associated with you right now. I'm like, fucking really, dude? Like, I helped you start out. Yeah. Now you're a fucking multi-millionaire. And now you're just going to fucking do this? And Jerry literally was like one of the only 2 or 3 people And he's like, dude, you're my friend. He's like, he's like, I know who you are. I know this is out of context. And he goes, I'm not fucking walking away from you. And dude, Jerry was literally probably the only fucking one, man.
Yeah. Good. He was a good guy. Like I said, definitely selfless, man.
He was the best, dude.
Yep. Stuck by my side the whole time, dude. I ain't gonna lie, man, for about, a good year and a half. And don't get me wrong, it was funny as hell because about a year and a half later or so, that the chick who blasted me, her best friend at the time was like, hey, just so you know, she did this because you turned her down at CrimeCon. And that's how it all started. And I was like, that's fucking great to know. She goes, I condone what she did. I don't agree with what she did. Like, but I just at least wanted you to know why she did it. I'm like, well, that's fucking great to know. Yeah. A year and a half fucking later.
Not the kind of friends I want.
You know, that's fucking cool.
Yeah. You could have told me this a lot sooner.
Yeah, it was a fucking rough patch, man.
You could have gave her the Rimmel rub and could have avoided all that.
Yeah. And you know what the best part was is she goes, I'm smart enough. I ain't typing this in a message. She goes, I'm going to call you.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
And after that, that's when comments on my personal feed got shut off for a long time. Yeah. I still haven't since 2017. I don't think I've turned comments on personal Instagram because of that shit.
So we're going to wrap this up with one more question. You've been generous with a lot of time with us.
Yeah, no problem.
What advice would you give for somebody starting a new podcast out there to get started? Some advice that you wish you would have known.
That I wish I would have known.
Yeah.
I wish I wouldn't have worried about downloads so much and worried about pumping out content just for the sake of downloads. Mm-hmm. So like now, it's a money pit now, dude. Yeah. So like the more episodes you pump out, the more you're going to make, more ads, blah, blah, blah. But what really gets people in is the content. Like if you can bring original content or even good content in a way that people can relate to, whether it's scripted with the nice little music behind it, or whether it's conversational with yourself or with somebody else, concentrate on that 100%. Just concentrate on putting out good quality, well-researched content and make sure you're passionate about whatever you're talking about. Because if you're just pumping shit out just for the sake of it, you're not going to enjoy it. It's just going to be like a tedious, daunting task that you have to do because, of a contract, which, that was one of my just things with my new
I think we're on the no contract.
Hasn't seen a new episode yet. And I was like,
I think we're on the no contract, no media company bandwagon right now.
Yeah. When they sent over, like I said, when they got a hold of me, they were like, there are a lot of sports and a lot of other stuff. And they were looking to add to their catalog. And they're like, we already know that you're involved with like another network or two. We're fine with that. And I said, well, good, because one of those networks is one that I own. So if not, we're going to have a problem. But they, the percentage of ad revenue was a lot better than what most networks or anything. Usually most networks, or even if you're on Podbean or Spreaker, like you can put the dynamic ads in. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're not the full read ads. Like even if you put those in, you're still only getting like 60% max of ad revenue. And then the 40% goes to the host site network. So the reason I joined the new one is because the old one, I'm sitting here looking at the numbers, and I called them out in the Facebook group for the network. I'm like, listen, man, I don't know why you're lying to all these fucking people. I was like, you ain't giving nobody 60%. I said, here's some fucking numbers. Work those percentages into me getting 60%. It ain't happening. He's like, well, the blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, motherfucker, I've been doing this for longer than you have. I know how all this shit works. I know how CPMs work. I know how impressions work. Don't bullshit me, man. I said, all these new podcasts, they're eating it up because they don't know what the hell they're doing. I said, I own my own network, dude. Like, come on. So there was a little bit of a falling out there. I still get a check every month though, you know. I ain't put shit out on there, but and he every now and then he's like, hey, how's everything looking for episodes? I don't know. How's 60% fucking looking? I ain't seen it from you yet. You know, I said you can collect your fucking money on my old episodes, you know, the residuals. I said, but until you work out that 60%, dog, you're not getting nothing, man. So the new network, which is the Believe network, Believe, they're actually really good, man. They worked me out to 70% of ad revenue. And I mean, per the contract, I should probably start putting out some episodes, but I told them, you know, the situation and stuff like that. They're pretty cool about it. So
At least you found a good one.
I was like, well, at the end of the day, if they're not fucking cool about it, I don't give a shit. I'll pull the show. I don't care. You know what I mean? I got my own network. I don't care.
Yeah, because you can always fall back on that feed, you know, your group to, hey, you know, we're going here. Here's the new feed. I always have a spare
feed that's not published, and then I have my network feed that I also put everything else on as I'm uploading it to that, because I literally had to explain to the damn guy at this new network how to feed, you know, the RSS. I'm like, listen, dude. I said, I've done this 100 times in almost a decade, man. Like, I know what I'm doing. Just do this. It'll work. Trust me. Yeah. And of course, once he did it, I never got an email back. No, thank you. No, nothing.
So Justin,
there's that.
Why don't you go ahead and give the audience where they can reach all your episodes, all your different podcasts you're part of, and all your social medias. If they want to get a hold of you, go ahead and lay it all out for us.
Yeah. So, I mean, anywhere you listen to podcasts, you can find me. It's Mysterious Circumstances, Blood and Dust, Wild West True Crime, Safe Haven, The Unsolved Murder of Judith Petty. I've done some, Sweetie Anna Project, Rev 96, if you're into horror, or ghost stories and horror, or whatever. And yeah, you can find those anywhere, dude. They're out on the airwaves for about 9 years now or so. Social media, I deactivated my Facebook, over New Year's. It was New Year's Day or New Year's morning. Cause I don't know. I just got tired of it.
Who cares what somebody had for breakfast? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
or the drama.
Because I'm in a lot of group messages. So you can find me on Messenger for sure. But if not, Instagram. You can look up Mysterious Podcast on Instagram, and then Burn It All 13 is my personal IG. But other than that, I have a TikTok account. I don't even have a damn app on my phone anymore.
So do I. I just started trying to use it. So
I'm on Threads. I'm on X. I'm on all that stuff. So I ain't really hard to find.
Well, Justin, we want to thank you for your time. We know you're a busy man and you're very popular, but thanks for taking the time to spend a little time with us. We appreciate it.
It's the least I could do, man. You guys have been friends for a long time. So it's how you support each other. You guys supported me for a long time. I got to try to support you now. So,
yep. All that Patreon I've been paying you for no episodes.
Dude, for real, I need to.
But we love you.
That's the thing. I have so many Patreon episodes I got to put out too. That's one of the reasons I took it down so low. I was like, man, I'm charging motherfuckers.
Are you sure? Because I think I'm still paying.
Shit.
Dustin's still paying the full fee.
Oh,
you've been giving me for like $2 a month for like 5 years, 6 years.
Yeah.
Well, this has been Dark Discoveries, where the deeper you dive,
the darker it gets.